When you need advice, come to Ben and Kelly. It's group therapy on 99.7 DJX.
Grab some snacks. Here we go. Hey, Ben and Kelly. Got a group therapy situation for you. My husband and I have been together for a little over 6 years. The first year we were dating was rough. He ended up having to go to treatment for 6 months with an addiction to painkillers. He's been sober now for 5.5 years, but during those 6 months while he was away, I still went to all of his family events and holidays.
Okay.
During one family event, his cousin came up to me and asked if he could send me a message on Messenger to ask questions about my husband, see how he's doing. I said, sure. Started off acting like he was genuinely concerned about him, and then all of a sudden it got inappropriate real fast.
Oh.
Started making remarks about how I was very attractive. Every time I'm around, he tries to imagine what I look like under my clothes.
Ooh.
I stopped messaging him instantly. Thanksgiving came and he was there, so I tried to avoid him as much as possible, but he literally followed me upstairs into their bathroom and tried to come in with me and shut the door.
Oh.
Luckily, he heard someone coming up the stairs and he walked off. But ever since that happened, I've had anxiety about being around him.
For sure.
There have been a few other accidental touches, and I told my husband about all of this. He was furious, told his parents about it. His mom was upset, but then still said that's just how he is.
What?
My husband told them it was not acceptable. We would not go on big family vacations anymore if they chose to invite him.
Right.
We haven't been on any vacations with them in the last 4 years because they invited him. My husband hasn't talked directly to the cousin, and the behavior stopped because he knows the family knows, but he's never apologized. And even if he did, we just don't want to be around him. I'm losing respect for his family, though, because it feels like they're always choosing his cousin over their own son and brother. Is there any way to make them understand how bad his behavior actually was?
Okay, so it has, according to Joanna, ended, right? The inappropriate messaging and inappropriate behavior from the cousin to her?
Yes, but they still don't want to be around him at big family functions, and the family continues to invite the cousin despite knowing their feelings about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of tricky because as you know, family is family, and you've got to address these situations for sure.
Yeah.
But how do you do it, especially if you're the, quote, outsider?
Yeah, 100%. But, I feel like, I don't know if it's a good idea to get them all in a room and address it, because I feel like it's been addressed separately and then not really taken, with the gravity that it should be. So, especially by, the mom.
I was going to say, are we maybe just focusing on one person, and that would be the mom?
Maybe.
And if you get the mom on board to understand, then maybe she can be the driving force of change.
Could be, possibly. Yeah. I think that the biggest thing they're hurt about is they feel like that mom has just blown it off and isn't really validating their feelings about how uncomfortable she has been and how inappropriate all of that behavior is.
Yeah. So I guess, how do you convince the mom of this is the big question. So if you've been in this situation, and you know what, family's tough to navigate sometimes. That's why it's good sometimes to have other people who've been in a similar situation chime in. 502-571-9970. If you've got a suggestion, that's what group therapy is all about on 99.7 DJX. Listen, group therapy, Joanna is having, she and her husband are trying to get his family to understand how big of an issue his cousin's behavior is around her. Now, it's stopped, but they've confronted the family and nothing has changed, though.
Yeah, so they're basically like, if the cousin's going to be there, we're not going to be there. And so they haven't been on family vacations for 4 years because the cousin has been there. Now, that said, her husband hasn't actually confronted the cousin about his behavior directly. He's just been, bringing it up to the family and just listen, we don't want to be around him.
Hey, Paul.
So here's the deal. I think they're trying to make this guy's mom a scapegoat. I'm married. If my cousin was trying to come on to my wife, I think that I would have to have a conversation with him myself. That's a one-on-one, man-to-man conversation you need to have. So I think maybe some of their guilt about not having that conversation. They're trying to project it to their mother. That's not her fault the guy did that. You know, if that's your cousin, you need to handle your business.
I feel like that conversation does need to happen, yes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they're saying, oh, it's my mom's fault. It's my mom's fault. No, it's not. It's the cousin's fault. And it needs to be addressed. Yeah. If you're looking for an apology, it's never going to happen unless you have a conversation.
Yeah, that's true. They do need to confront the cousin and just say what you've been doing is unacceptable. It can't happen. If we're going to be a part of the same family, she's got to feel comfortable being around you. It needs to stop.
Absolutely. That should have happened years ago. You know. So
I hear you,
just
Paul.
my 10 cents.
All right. Yeah. Hey, appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling.
Yeah. Have a good morning.
Now, Katie says, what if you showed the mom the texts between the cousin and Joanna?
Yeah, maybe if she still has the messages. He reached out a messenger,
right, and
text messages. So if she still has that, that's one option. Just to, again, say, listen, this is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I think avoiding is, yes, a lot of people are saying, hey, you know what, setting those boundaries is good, and just, you know, avoiding and stuff like that. We are getting several people saying that, but I think avoiding is just going to continue to just kind of brush it under the rug and not actually address the actual problem.
Yeah, but a lot of people are just saying, listen, you need to cut all the stress out of your life. And if that means the family that are not going to support your feelings, then them included. But I think we do need, if there's a next step to be taken, we talk to the cousin directly.
I mean,
confront him.
And how much do you push, and how long do you wait for them to change? I
don't know. Maybe if they do get an apology out of him for him to own up to his behavior and vow that it's never going to happen again, then maybe they can try to move forward and see if he sticks to his word. And if he doesn't, then we kind of sever ties.
All right. Well, I hope the best for your situation.
It's tough.
I think, Joanna, maybe your husband and the cousin need to have that conversation. Even if it has happened and it's done, you know, it hasn't happened again.
He hasn't really accepted accountability.
Right.
He hasn't faced the music for that, and what his choices and what he did. So he needs to be held accountable. And I think once that happens, maybe they can all move on. Maybe he will learn from his behavior and promise not to do it again. And maybe he can emerge a better person. Who knows? Yeah, for sure. So definitely maybe the next step is having your husband address the cousin and talk to him. But then, you know, hey, good luck, and hopefully you can get some resolution in that. If you want to see or leave your reply, the thread is open. All right? At Ben and Kelly Show on Facebook.
All right. Good luck, Joanna. Keep us posted.